Ravens have defeated the Washington football team 31-17. So big win by the Ravens. They get it done. This was what many people may say could have been a trap game. And you may say, why would a game against the Washington football team be a trap game? Well, clearly Washington is in a state where they're building something, and they're building a team to compete for the next few years. It was important that they, what's up, Mark, coming in from Los Angeles. In this game, it was important that the Ravens got things established early, went out there, hit Washington in the mouth, and that's what they did, folks. Getting it done 31-17. One of the things I like was, my quarterback, Lamar Jackson. Actually, that's the wrong clip. Let me show you this one without the sound. Right here, you'll see just straight up the middle. And Lamar Jackson doing his thing up the middle in the end zone. He did show off a little bit, but he got it done. He got in the end zone. Like, whoa. And this was one of those games where a lot of people saw what happened Monday night, and then all of a sudden, suddenly, what's up, Mark? Great to see you too. Appreciate you jumping in. All of a sudden, everybody's trying to act like Lamar Jackson isn't one of the best guys in the league, isn't one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Sure, they lost, but people were trying to say, oh yeah, he's not top five. The Ravens aren't a top five team. They don't even belong in the same boat with Kansas City. Look, everybody loses. The Baltimore Ravens, and obviously I know it's a different team, but the Baltimore Ravens that won the Super Bowl, folks, that won the Super Bowl, lost, got blown out by the Denver Broncos. Matter of fact, they lost to this team, this franchise, but they came back and got hot in the playoffs. That can happen. And the Ravens that year had to see those same Broncos that blew them out. They had to see them. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, you know what? Don't sweat it. Yeah, they lost. Still understanding it was week 3, but it was a huge bounce back win today. I wanted to show y'all this clip right here. Hollywood Brown, just one of my favorite guys on the team right here. Lamar hits him, boom, in traffic. And there was a lot of talk about his size. Oh, is Hollywood Brown big enough? All that jibber jabbers, right? But, it don't matter. It don't matter. He's got heart and determination. Last year, he was playing on a broken foot. You know how hard it is to play football on a broken foot? I mean, I'm not a football player, so I can't even tell you. But I can imagine. I know how hard it is to walk on a broken foot. So, or I should say a bad foot. So this dude was going out there playing football and was still doing his thing. And this week, he just went out there and showed why him and Lamar Jackson are creating that chemistry. And this is going to be a dangerous duo for years to come, I believe. I got my buddy Malik joining in. Let me text him. You ready? I'm on now. But yeah, he's going to join in and talk Ravens football. Malik is played at the collegiate level and the high school level. So I definitely want to get him in here for him to talk about it. But Mark Andrews, he's another one. And I'm going to show a clip from him. This is a catch right here. Just Lamar hits him right in the seams. And you see Andrews just going right into the end zone. And he's established it himself. And that's one thing the Ravens have done in the history. Look at the history of this team. You go from Shannon Sharp to Todd Heap to Dennis Pitta. And now, and we had some other tight ends who were very good, but now Mark Andrews is establishing himself into that upper echelons of Ravens tight ends. And this is real good. This is good for the business of Baltimore Ravens football. But I want to talk about the run game. Over 120 yards again for the Ravens. Let me make sure I can put that on there. Yeah, over 120 yards again. Lamar Jackson, 193 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. That was one of those plays when I saw the interception, I said, okay, he hitting Boykins, but Boykins didn't see it. The route, it was just a miscommunication right there. So, but we got to talk about this hit from McQueen earlier, which led to a turnover. And you'll see Marcus Peters picking up that ball. The defense. That's always going to be crucial. We saw that the Ravens just paid Marlon Humphrey this week, and he's the playmaker. And that's exactly what you're supposed to do. Actually, I think he was the one on the forced fumble. I think, he was the one, excuse me. But yeah, being a playmaker is very important. And that's what's going to get it done. That's why they paid him. And so if I know as a Ravens fan, I'm happy. Peters got paid last year. Humphrey got paid this year. To me, they are a couple of the best duos. We just got to figure out a way to stop the pass when it comes to a guy like Patrick Mahomes. There's something in that defense that we got to figure out. But one thing I want people to do, if you're watching, go ahead and share this with your friends and family. Let them know that we are live talking Baltimore Ravens, Washington football team. Let them know. Just come on in, join. Let me know, what did you think about the game tonight or this afternoon? I know it's still some games going on. We got Tampa Bay and I see LAC. I automatically think Los Angeles Clippers. It's the Los Angeles Chargers, but they have a duel. But it looks like, in my opinion, I think Tom Brady's not losing this game. I just don't. Let's see. Cool. Yeah, I really don't. I don't think he's losing this game as much as I would love to see it. But let me know what y'all think. What was your favorite game so far? I know it's a lot of games. I know it's a lot of Cowboys fans that's disappointed as they trying to come back down 41-30 against the Cleveland Browns. But they are I'm looking on NFL.com. They are on the Cleveland 16. Can the Cowboys mount a comeback yet again? It would be an epic comeback, but it would also be so Cleveland Brown-like. And quite frankly, that is something I hope to see, as I am a Ravens fan. I don't want to see the Browns be successful at any given time. I'm going to just be straight up with you. I don't. So that's how I feel about them. But, Ravens, it was cool to see RG3 in the game today as well. RG3 got it. He threw an interception, but I was kind of hoping we saw that, just on the simple fact that Dan Snyder could see his guy playing for the other team, the team that's up north, seeing him playing against his team. And I liked him coming in these circumstances, when the Ravens have a big lead, and with, big leads, you put in RG3. Like I said, yeah, he threw an interception, but shout out to Kendall Fuller, had an incredible game. 2 interceptions. Lamar Jackson's first interception this year. Obviously, it's not something we wanted to see, but it is what it is. Kendall Fuller is, I believe he's actually he's a Baltimore native. So I know it was pretty cool for him, a cool moment for him to get the interception against the hometown team. He's right down the street. And so, so yeah, we'll see. But let me know what y'all thought about the game, and make sure you go ahead and follow me right here on Haps TV. That's where I do my exclusive sports talk. Yeah, it does go to Facebook, and it does go to, matter of fact, let me just check the comments. It goes to Facebook, it goes to the other apps as well. So but I definitely suggest you download Haps TV. You get a lot of great news incoming. So if you are, a news junkie like me, you can get a lot of great firsthand live streams from different journalists where they are reporting live from, whether it's protests or talking about, whatever's going on. You can check that out. So make sure you guys do that. Let me see if my guest is ready. He should be clicking in. Yeah, there he is. So I'm waiting for him to get set up, and then I'll be bringing in my boy Malik Diggs coming on the line. Let's see. I guess I'm still waiting for his camera to get situated. There he is. Malik, can you hear me? What's up, man? All right, what's up, man? How you feeling? I'm good, man. Thanks for joining me right here on Haps TV. First and foremost, how's everything? You enjoy that game? Mm-hmm. You been you being a football player. What did you notice from the Ravens, and what are some things that you think they did well that they didn't do Monday night besides show up?
The running game was very potent today. We didn't run the ball last week at all. It was more so passing game,
Mm-hmm.
more so passing game. And I think that we got away from that. That's our identity, I feel, until we get like a bona fide number one to go along with Hollywood, I feel. It's more so running.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at Monday, and it felt like they was going to go stick with the run. On
Yeah,
that opening drive, they kind of had their way with Kansas City. They didn't come away with seven, but then it seemed like they got in their head and tried to like the same thing we did with Tennessee, going tick for tack with their opponent. Like you said, getting away from their run game.
yeah.
And so now, when you saw today's game, let's just say, besides the run, what else stood out to you the most? And Malik just dropped off, so we'll wait for him to get back in. Um, yeah, but that was yeah. All right, there he is. You good?
Yeah, I was just trying to make sure it's going because I kept hearing the echo in the background.
Oh, you hear me echo or you?
I wasn't sure. I think it's good now.
Oh, you sound good on my end.
All right, perfect. I don't hear it either. So,
All right. So, what did you think as far as you said the run game? What else stood out to you?
so I told you that. Sorry, my roommate he was excited about the game. I told you. I said they was down 41-22. Nobody ever want to listen to me. Yeah, bro. I'm on.
Obviously, we're bringing up the Cowboys.
Yeah,
Cowboys. Well, I'm seeing. I don't have the game on, but I'm seeing 47-38.
47-38. Is there any time left?
I see 3 minutes and 25 seconds left, according to Google. Well,
Okay.
NFL,
Okay.
NFL.com.
All right, perfect. Perfect.
I,
I,
I
I
would.
was. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I would say I'm not a Cowboys fan anymore, but I
Mhm.
would like to see them win this game just for the sake of the Ravens.
I was saying I agree. I was saying the same thing. We needed that because the Browns are 2-1. Surprisingly.
Yeah, I don't think they are the. I still think they're the Browns at the end of the day. I'm gonna just keep it real with you. I
Yeah.
just think they're the Browns.
I think that, even though the Cowboys deal with a lot of injuries, they would have been in this game if they didn't have all those injuries. But the defense is very suspect. I think that division is very up for grabs.
Yeah, folks, if you're out there watching or listening, go ahead and hit the share button as I just shared it with the group chat. Malik and I are in. But yeah, share this with your group chat, share this with your friends, let them know Brian H. Waters and Malik Diggs are on talking Ravens. You're getting a real authentic conversation about the Ravens and Washington football team. Um, Marlon Humphrey, he just got paid
Yeah.
and we saw him making plays today. What's your thoughts as far as him and Marcus Peters being a dual corners, and where do they stand as far as the league best?
I think they're I think they are the league's best. If I think they are the top three, if not the league best, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Just based on the play, Marcus Peters, he comes up with great interception. Marlins, of course, he's good in the defensive end with the fumbles, of course. And I think, it's very consistent. And I think with those two, I think they're gonna take us a long way down the line, especially when we're gonna, those tough games.
Yeah. What do the Ravens need to do as far as the rest of their defense to strengthen and make it? I don't. I don't think we'll ever see a 2000s defense again, right? Just because the way the game is played,
Hmm.
but what could they do to make this one of the more respected defenses in Ravens franchise history?
This defense this year,
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to it's hard to repeat the 2000 defense, but I think this year the D line is really good. They have a chance to be one of the best D lines in the league. Of course, the acquisition of Derek Wolfe and Calais Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I do think that needs to improve is Matt Judon in the ends as well. Him and Jalen Ferguson have a big duty to sack the quarterback. Of course, we lost Terrell Suggs, one of our best all-time Ravens. So I think that's one of the things that need to improve is our end play.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. What is it? What do they need to do, in your opinion?
Mm-hmm.
Because I brought up early before you came on.
Mm-hmm.
You go back to 2012, right? The Broncos game.
Yes.
That was the game that stood out, which is ironically right after they played the Washington football team, where RG3 got hurt, Kirk Cousins came in. We know the story.
Mm-hmm.
The next week, they got a new offensive coordinator, and they still get blown out. Joe Flacco's laying in the ground. You can call it Flacco in if you want. All of a sudden, it's like the light comes on. They win, what is it, 4 out of the next 5 to go ahead and win the championship.
Mm-hmm.
What would it take for this team to do the same thing? They had to see Denver again. In Denver, what would it take for them to be able to defeat Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs?
They need a primary receiver. I mean, if we look at it right now, Hollywood Brown is our number 1 and Miles Boykins our number 2. No disrespect to Miles, but I don't think he's there yet as the primary target, a bona fide number 2. Of course, it's up between Prochet and Duvernay to be the 3. But at the same time, of course, let's not forget Willie Snead. He's good as well. But I think an extra receiver, one more receiver, would do the Ravens justice, like a bona fide number 1. And I know there's been a lot of rumors talking about Antonio Brown.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm kind of hoping the Ravens go for. I think that'll put us over the hump. Help the offense, because when you look at the games that the Ravens have played against the Chiefs, the games are close, like 7, 14-point difference.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the same time, the Ravens they'll have one play the one play that'll mess it up for the rest of the game. Like the Andrews drop, the Hollywood deep pass.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the main problems that the Ravens have against the Chiefs is like they miss. Those plays are crucial because the Chiefs make those plays.
Right.
We have to make those plays to compensate.
So you saying, a lot of people brought up Antonio Brown, right?
Yes.
Do you think he still got it?
I think he does.
Okay.
He just was in a bad situation, of course, but at the same time, it's not on them, it's on him as well. He took responsibility for that. And I think this time away from the game is probably, make him realize like what he's missing out on, you know what I'm saying? Like, you getting to play the game that you love, you say, and you're missing out on just playing football. One of the greatest games, if not the greatest games on the planet.
Yeah. And when you look at this, right? So you see a guy like Antonio Brown. With him, because of the situation, you can get him relatively cheap.
Yeah, definitely you are.
And does he have to? I know your father asked this, and I can't remember the answer. Does he have to serve out 8 games after he's signed, or like how does that work?
From my understanding, I think he's on the exempt list for 8 games, but I think the 8 games would have been served just like these first 8 games this week. I don't know if it's this week. I'm not sure if it's the week out. I think it's the first 8 games.
Okay.
So
yeah, I'm not a fan of all the antics and everything he did. So I'm like,
I think he's gonna be fine because he's gonna be playing with somebody like he's related to. Of course, Hollywood, that's his cousin, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the culture is strong for that.
Yeah. You said I think you started dropping off.
The culture is too strong for that.
Okay.
You just can't let one person come in and change how you're doing things. That's got to be cut quick.
Now he's gonna have to understand that he's not going to be getting 10 receptions a game.
Yeah.
Just the way this is a run first offense. Now, if he get hot, the Ravens by all means they gonna.
I think it'll open the passing game up too. So you think he's of course he's going to get over the top and safety help. Of course, it's because it's him, but it's
Mm-hmm.
going to open up other receivers. Like I think Miles Boykin would do good. He would be able to be in the slot. He could produce other ways as well. So that would be on the outside, the primary X receiver as well.
Do you think Juju is overrated?
I don't think he's overrated. I think he fits the system.
Okay. Because I thought personally, I was like, he was good because AB was there. But now,
Hmm.
I think to me, when I think of great, well, I should say dangerous Pittsburgh receivers over the
Hmm.
past decade, I'm thinking Hines Ward,
How's the word?
Santonio Holmes,
Yep.
um, it was somebody else. Oh,
Was it
Plexico
Plaxico?
Burst
Yep. Plaxico.
and Antonio Brown.
Hmm.
And Mike Wallace was dangerous there for a minute.
He was cool. He was cool. He had nice speed.
I can't put Juju in that category.
Not yet.
Okay, yeah, and I understand like maybe he needed a couple more years with AB where he could really become a threat on his own and his game would have developed differently. But I don't know. I just can't put him in that category.
I agree. I think like I remember last year. Remember the game when he was playing good and and they were about to win, but Marlon knocked the ball out.
Yep.
That's one of those plays. Like I think if he would have made that play, that would have put him. I think it could have put him in the category. But at that time, it's just like
Yeah.
it lost all his confidence and
And I
everything.
think that was one of the games they thought about when they were signing that deal for Marlon Humphrey.
Yeah,
When they
exactly.
was giving him that deal, that was definitely. I mean, you got to come up big in a rivalry game. Bottom line, it was between that one and then the Patriots game.
Hmm.
So I look at it like I mean, I'm glad that, give credit Ozzie Newsome. Sometimes we say, man, all he drafted is those Alabama guys, but
Yeah,
this one obviously paid off well.
definitely. I agree.
Dare say maybe one of the best cornerbacks drafted since Chris McAllister.
Hmm.
I don't know. It can't as far as like I'm having a hard time thinking of like a sure enough all pro cornerback that they drafted. But
I,
what do you
I
think?
agree.
Next week we got this. The Ravens got Cincinnati Bengals.
Hmm.
What's your thoughts on that game?
I think the Ravens should come out and win the game, but who did the Bengals play today? Who did
Um, they beat the Jaguars
they beat the Jaguars?
33-25. Let me pull up some stats here.
Okay,
Um,
I wasn't sure how they did.
yeah, Joe Burrow 25 for 36, 300 yards, one touchdown, one interception. And Joe Mixon,
Mm,
151 yards on 25 carries, 6 yards per carry with 2 touchdowns.
that boy running with a purpose.
Yeah, that's gonna be a problem. I'll be down there next week.
Hey,
And so he woo that's gonna be the thing. The Ravens are gonna have to stop that run game.
yes.
We
What?
saw what
What?
Nick Chubbs did last year, but he didn't do it
Mm,
this year. So
I think that should be a good game. I think this division is becoming a lot more, more competitive now. You're seeing a
you
shift.
think
It's
so?
a lot of more competitive now. You see the shift, and like this division wasn't as good as it's been
Mm-hmm.
in the past couple of years with these younger quarterbacks. I think the division is very has peaked. It's gotten a lot better.
I'm gonna be
It's
honest
still
with you.
early, but
I think it's the Ravens are the top team, and
mhm,
I think everybody else is competing.
everybody else.
Yeah, I think this is like, and this is gonna sound very arrogant, but this feels like them years New England had when Buffalo and the Jets. We know how the Buffalo and then sometimes the Jets would try to like battle, and they
Hmm.
would have a battle, and even Miami at times. But they would like battle amongst each other, but they still wasn't better than New England by any means.
Yes.
So even if let's say the Ravens would lose a division game or two this
Hmm.
year, I still think they're better than everybody else. And then there's Pittsburgh and Cleveland with Cincinnati coming.
But what do you think the Ravens' final record could be this year?
Man, records are so hard because there's so many things that could go in. Um, but if I had to just pick a number, I'm gonna say 13-3.
13-3.
Yeah. But I gotta take another look at the schedule. But I do think maybe one of those losses come to either. I think one of those losses come to Pittsburgh and one come from Cleveland. As much as I would like to see them sweep the division, I just don't see it happening.
You don't think so this year?
Mm-mm.
I think if we get AB, I think it's going to help us. I hope.
Yeah, that's true. But and another thing we got to think about, right? So you also got the COVID factor.
That's true.
So what could happen if we even finish the season? But I'll pull up the schedule. So Bengals next week, I think that's a win. Eagles, the 18th, that's a win. Pittsburgh in Baltimore, I think that's a win for the Ravens.
Okay.
Indy in Indianapolis, I think that's a win. Patriots.
I asked you a question. Do we play Pittsburgh twice early? Because remember we played them last year. It was early, then we played them the last game.
No, we played sort of. Yeah, we played them again November 26th. Is that Thanksgiving?
Okay. Yes, I believe so.
Yes. Yeah, so we played them on Thanksgiving. And it's back-to-back primetime games because then the next Thursday we got the Cowboys.
Yeah, the Cowboys
in Baltimore. So, but see, so I think the Bengals loss is a rest game. I think this year they take a different approach just because, quote unquote. But I do think, the Patriots, I think they get the rematch. I do think they beat the Titans. Mm-hmm. So if I had to go, if we want to be honest, the schedule is easy from here on out.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say easy. I'm not gonna say it's a breeze, but it's not as bad as it could be, right? So if you go based on last year's records, the tough part was Cleveland because they beat us in Baltimore, Houston because they were a playoff team, and Kansas City. So we already, lost to them. But the Colts aren't really supposed to be a tough team. The Jaguars aren't supposed to be a tough team, or I should say tough game. Dallas, no. So really, Tennessee, the Patriots, I'm going to say they're not really a tough team because this isn't the same Patriots. Mm-hmm. And they are missing a lot of people that decided to sit out because of COVID. But then there's also a lot of people that sat out. There's also a lot of people. I mean, there's also the Cam Newton factor. Mm-hmm. We have to understand, take this disease, virus serious. Folks, wear your mask. We don't know what Cam Newton will return as. He really, even if he feels well, he should take another week off, in my opinion. I know they said Eduardo Rodriguez, who pitches for the Boston Red Sox. I was watching CNN. They said that he just got to the point where he could really walk again. So the virus is hitting people differently. And it's getting to get cold. So that's the reason why I'm not even 100% sure. But, looking at the records, I think maybe the Ravens lose the game, that Thanksgiving game. And I think they lose the 14th.
The 14th?
Yeah. But see, the Bengals game is tricky, though, right? Because that's going to be the end of the season. We don't know. So, but I think, if I had to choose one, I'm going to say they lose to the Browns. I think it's a 13-3 season this year.
Okay.
How about you?
I wanted to ask, did they add that extra week that they were talking about, like over the off season? It would be.
What you mean?
Like another team for the playoffs, I believe. Instead of it would be 7.
Oh, I'm not sure. That's a good question. I'm not even sure. Oh yeah, I did think it was supposed to be like one bye, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so they probably did. It's not another game on the schedule.
Oh, okay. Thought they added it, but I think the Ravens, they might go. They probably go 13-3, 14-2. I think they can go 14-2 again.
Yeah.
It just depends on how they approach these next couple of weeks going into the bye week. And they're always a good team after the bye. I think that week off gives them time to settle down and just recollect everything for the grit and grind of the playoff run. So I definitely could see them going 13-3 as well.
When is their bye week?
Is it? It's week 7. I think they changed it to week 7.
Oh yeah, it's 7 and week 8. Okay.
Yeah.
So in between the Eagles, the Pennsylvania teams, in between the
Yeah.
Eagles and the Steelers.
Hmm.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, but and really, honestly, right?
Yeah.
None of these teams should beat them. Like
Not at all.
they're better than all the other teams. We do know Lamar Jackson hates losing,
Hmm.
so they really could go 15-1. But it's kind of hard to predict a 15-1 year. I don't care who you are. You look back at Carolina that year; they did it, being I think, the most recent team to do so. They could have, if they would have beat the Falcons, they could have been a 16-0 team.
Yes.
But most people, I've heard people who are fans and covered their team, says it just happened. Like they didn't look like a 15-1 team. Like it was sort of a fluke. You go back to that Patriots team that was
Fluke.
18-1. That was an 18-1 team. Like
Yeah, I can
when
see that they had everybody really.
yeah, I remember the beginning of the season, everybody was saying, "Oh, this could be a perfect season."
Hmm.
So this Ravens team, I think, because they play so hard for each other, but we being fans and watching the team up close, we see the holes in the team. So it's easy.
Yeah.
Like they can't win every game.
Yeah.
Before I get you out of here, I got to ask you about Josh Allen. What you think about him? I'm saying as I see him coming on the screen as they get ready for these afternoon games.
Well, I think about Josh. I think he's in the same situation that Lamar Jackson could be in if they had an extra receiver.
Oh, okay.
See how they only had John Brown and Cole Beasley and the other guys that they had. Now that they got Stephon Diggs, it opens everybody else up. It spreads the offense out.
Yeah. It would have been nice if the Ravens would have got him. I
Yeah.
would have to look at the draft to see who they would not have gotten.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would have been nice, especially him being. But from my understanding, I remember listening to talk radio saying that Bashadi didn't really care for him having his whole crew come out to during his workouts.
So that's understandable. The Shoddy
So,
boys.
and then you never know, like the maturity and stuff. It's a lot playing home or close to home. That's why I'm
Yeah.
interested to see how Dwayne Haskins moves forward. I want to root for the guy because he's a black quarterback, but
Yeah.
it would be nice to see the hometown guy really do something special. They don't need to win the Super Bowl. Let's leave that for the Ravens. But it would be nice to see him do something special. You imagine in 4 years of Ravens, Washington football, hopefully they'll have a named team in the Super Bowl. How crazy that would be. Lamar Jackson versus Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be that whole area in the district would just be going crazy.
Man, we just missed in 2014. It should have been the Orioles and the Nationals in the World Series,
Yeah.
but that's a different story.
Yeah, definitely different stuff. When
Yeah.
you said it's hard playing for your home team, I was thinking, like what KD said, like why he would never, not say he would never, but he didn't really feel comfortable with coming back to DC. Is like he doesn't want to be that guy, that everybody puts so much pressure on, and I can see it can be a lot of pressure for guys like Dwayne Haskins, Chase
Mm-hmm.
Young. It is crazy because you got the pressure of not only your team but people in your family, your city, friends,
Yeah.
associates, everybody. It's like you do this, man. It's gonna change. It might change the landscape. It's crazy,
Yeah. And imagine, say you playing for the Ravens, right? And
Yeah,
I'm walking down the street and I hear somebody say something crazy. That Malik Diggs, man. What you just say? you know?
yeah.
So, I can
And vice
imagine.
versa, I did the same thing.
Right. So, but big props to Chase Young and the Wayne Haskins. It was sad to not see Young on the field. I was there for week 1,
Hmm.
and man, that kid is nice. He's going to be so much fun to watch.
Yeah, he's really a technician at D line. Yes.
Yeah. So it was probably a good thing he wasn't playing. but yeah, he's going to be good. He's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Hmm.
But yeah, we got there's your dad popping there.
Oh, I see.
Saying hello from Baltimore. So shout out to Pop as
What's going on, Pop?
yeah. So man, but yeah, just looking at everything going on, man. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna
Yeah.
be very interesting. to
If the
see.
if the season doesn't finish, I think it'll be a crazy atmosphere with everybody.
Hmm.
With all this COVID stuff going on, like you were saying, everybody please mask up, be safe. But who knows? The NBA did a great job with the bubble, but I don't know how the NFL is going to combat that. I see people are still getting sick, and MLB as well. It's very tough to handle. I think it's very tough to handle on it, but I think they'll figure it out down the line. But it's a very tough situation now.
Yeah, it definitely is, and I hope they get themselves together. Because
Hmm.
I understand you can't do a bubble, but you really gonna have to hold people accountable. Say, look, you go to work, go home.
Hmm.
It's just that I ain't gonna say it's that simple. I know they got to go to the store and all that stuff, but the same way, they're hanging out, going different places. No, go to work, go home. At the end of the day, because if you want to have a football season, you're gonna have to tighten up because
Hmm. Yeah.
when you start hitting these teams in their pockets, then it's gonna become an issue. I think when you start finding teams and finding players for going out and whatnot, it's gonna really become an issue because the question will be, "Hey, why are you going out? You costing us money." And once you start
Hmm.
doing that, then there's a problem because
Yeah.
you're,
Money
you're
talks, of course. Yeah.
yeah, and your best attribute is your availability.
Hmm.
And if you can't play, man, I could imagine. I wonder how the Patriots organization feel about Cam Newton right now. I know a lot of people ain't saying that, and there might be, people might not like that fact. I just said that, but I'm wondering what's the conversation. How does his teammates feel? This was supposed to be a, like I said, I got on CBS, right? And
Hmm.
here they show in Buffalo and Las Vegas. I'm pretty sure this was supposed to be Kansas City and New England. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that was supposed to be Kansas City and New England because that
Yeah.
seemed like that would have been a primetime game. I'm like, any of it to Buffalo and Las Vegas? I know Josh Allen is kind of like people feel like he's coming and he's going to be like the next big thing, but I don't know. So we'll see. They said, "Hey fellas, we need a pass rusher. Pop, join in. I sent you the invite. Click the link." But yeah, definitely we definitely brought that up about needing a pass rusher. So, um, but yeah, I like McQueen's game today too.
Yeah. They were speaking about how he felt like he messed up last week a lot, and he
Mhm,
wanted to come back. He wanted to come back this game, and be a lot better and be the leader that he said he was, that he's supposed to be, that he's going to be. I think. And I
mhm.
think this game was actually like a confidence booster game for the Ravens. I think they needed this game too. I felt like they fell off a little bit. Like you feel like you're on top of the world, and you come back down to earth.
Yeah.
But I think they're still, of course they're still in the hunt. But this is definitely a confidence booster for the Ravens.
Well, you think back to last year when they played the Chiefs, right?
Yeah.
Then they had to play the Browns, which is um, a rivalry game, a division game. Then I think they had Pittsburgh or Cincinnati, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
Um, but it wasn't like I'm gonna call for what it is. It wasn't like the toughest game on the schedule, and then perhaps one of the easier games on the schedule. They didn't have that, so we definitely saw that this year. But this could have also been a trap game, and that's what we had to watch out for because this could
Yeah,
have easily
definitely.
been a trap game where they would have went in there and just like took it for granted. But the thing I love about this team the most is they don't play down to their competition. We saw that a lot in the previous regime, but this team they will go out there. Yeah, Washington got a touchdown late. Yeah, there was a couple, a turnover late, but for the most part, when they got to put their foots on throats, that's what they do.
Hmm. I agree with that.
Yeah. Anything you want to say to the people before we get out of here?
Hey everybody, you can just follow me underscore mdiggs1 on Twitter, Instagram. You can follow me on Facebook, Malik Diggs. And you can also, I believe my name is on here. My name is my name on here as well. Just first time doing it. First time doing these interviews. Appreciate you, Brian, for inviting, let me speak to the people, get myself out there.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you, man. You know, you football is what you know. You know, you obviously know the game better than me. You played it, and I'll never forget that big hit. I should have put that in here. That big hit when you was in high school and you laid out the guy and just simply like boom, and you heard the whole stadium
Oh man, I remember
rocking.
that play.
And
That
I
was
had the shot, and I had just got
crazy.
over around the pole.
Yeah, I
And
know.
I was like, oh man.
Man,
So,
it was
but
such a
yeah,
good video. I appreciate you regardless, no matter what, man.
oh, of course, man. We family, you know that.
Yeah, of course, appreciate you. So it was a great vid. I heard it myself after the fact. I'm like, dang, it was that loud?
Yeah. I felt like if you could have slowed time down, you would
Yeah.
have told your quarterback, come this way, I got you. And then you would have just like hammered the dude on boom, and then told him to just like take off. But you know, so that was fun, man. But yeah, let's get out of here, man. Go enjoy. We're gonna enjoy these afternoon games. Y'all take care. Make sure y'all follow me at Brian H. Waters. Subscribe to my podcast, Breaking Through the Glass Ceilings, on all podcast platforms, and the Wrestling Realm also on all podcast platforms. And make sure if you haven't downloaded the Hap News app, do so now. It's a great app, and it's great people over there behind this, putting this together.